Rob G, talk about prisoner of the moment. Already you're counting the Eagles out? What's going on here?
How am I? You would think the opposite of a prisoner of the moment. Prisoner of the moment would say, look at what the Eagles did. They should have won the Super Bowl. They should have the biggest Super Bowl window this side of Kansas City. They should be the dynasty, right? They got a young quarterback. They got A.J. Brown locked up. Devontae Smith is there. I'm here to tell you, Rob, this Super Bowl window is closing before it ever fully opened up. Here's the reason why.
My goodness.
Several reasons, actually. Number one being, we talked about it earlier today, and Isaac Lowenkron was telling us all during the show. They're losing both of their coordinators to other gigs. Shane Steichen's going to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Gannon's going to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if you know this, how much of America knows this, but Nick Sirianni does not call the offense or the defense. This is not one of those situations.
So what is he, just standing around looking cute?
Is that what you're trying to say? He's hanging out looking cool. He's a big motivator kind of guy. He's a delegator, as it were, right? So this is not one of those situations where you can say, oh, hey, it's okay if our offensive coordinator leaves because, Andy Reid calls the plays or Sean McVay calls the plays. So it's no big deal. The last time, and I think this is the only time it's ever happened, but the last time a team has ever lost both of their coordinators in the same season was 2013 with the Bengals, all right? That year, they were 6th in offense with Jay Gruden, 5th in defense with Mike Zimmer. The following season, they dropped to 15th and 12th, okay? So that's number one. Number two.
They took a big step back.
Number two, and most importantly, that Jalen Hurts contract is coming. And rightfully so. He deserves every penny he's about to get. If it was up to me, I'd say whatever Deshaun Watson got, guaranteed any $1 more than that. Because look at what I did in the Super Bowl. I put on an all-time great performance. I just happened to lose.
He did.
So
no matter what Tyler Dragon says, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
1,000%. And because that is coming, all of the talent that they had surrounded him with is about to drift away. Jason Kelce, who's the best center in football, might retire. Lane Johnson is in his mid-30s. Darius Slay is in his mid-30s. You go down the list. James Bradbury, who got called for that holding, he's a free agent. Brandon Graham's a free agent. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, starting safety, is a free agent. Fletcher Cox is a free agent. Miles Sanders is a free agent. They're starting running back. You have all of these guys, and more likely than not, at least half of them will be gone because they have to anticipate paying Jalen Hurts. So you couple that with the loss of the coach, so there's going to be an adjustment period anyways. By the time these new coordinators get themselves together, those guys are all going to be gone, and suddenly they're no longer the Super Bowl contending Philadelphia Eagles. They are, at best, the NFC East contending Philadelphia Eagles.
I disagree with you, Rob G, from this standpoint. You just was singing the praises of Jalen Hurts. He's a special kind of guy. He's a guy that makes other people better. You better put another guy in the box because he might run on you, and if you do, he'll throw it over your head on your defense. I get all the missing parts, but this is the nature of the NFL. You're going to miss people. We just saw Tyreek Hill missing from the Chiefs, and somehow they still were able to win a Super Bowl. And they've lost other pieces along the way, and I get it. It might not be the same exact team, but that doesn't mean they can't add other pieces. Maybe they shore up the defense that couldn't help them win the Super Bowl. But I think when you have the biggest part of a football team, and that's the quarterback answered, you're going to be in the mix. I get it. Do I expect them to get back to the Super Bowl, Rob G? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the Bengals to make the playoffs.
That's not even a hot take to say they won't back to the Super Bowl. It hardly ever happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's not a hot take or anything like that. What I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is the centerpiece of that franchise. We saw you can win with the running quarterback. They didn't win, Rob G, but it wasn't because of him. It wasn't because they put an extra man in the box and they stopped him. They didn't stop him. And when they did, he had 70 yards. And when they did, and he had to throw, Rob G, what did he do? You see some of those throws to the sidelines?
That throw to Goddard was one of the best throws I've seen in the playoffs. Period.
Where was the space for that ball to get in there? Right? There wasn't any. So he showed you he could deliver the football as well. That's why I still think they have a chance over the next couple of years to get back there because of that dynamic quarterback more so than anything else. And maybe it's not the way that Rob G that they were able to get there this year with a defense with the 70 sacks and all that, but you don't always need that. Aaron Rodgers, when they won the Super Bowl, 6-10. I mean,
10-6.
What was they? 10-6. I'm sorry. They were 10-6. They weren't a division winner. They had to win every game on the road. You remember that run?
I do.
Their defense wasn't that good, but they were good enough. But they had the quarterback who was the MVP, who played great in that Super Bowl and those playoffs. So that's all I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is what's going to give them that. Your points are all valid. All these changes and moving pieces. But the NFL, that's a part of the NFL if you're going to have any success. But the hardest thing to obtain is a quarterback, and I don't think there's any more question about Jalen Hurts.
I think Jalen Hurts, again, deserves whatever he's going to get. I think he deserves all of it. The only difference between, you brought up specifically, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers is those are not just very good quarterbacks. They're not just great quarterbacks. They are all-time elite of the elite level quarterbacks.
That's true. I got you.
And as good as I think Jalen Hurts is, I don't think that there's any scenario in his career where you're ever talking about him in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
That's fair.
And that's nothing to take away from Jalen Hurts.
No, I get it. No.
Like
Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs and 4 Pro Bowl, all
pros, and the highest passer rating in NFL history.
Right. I mean, there's no doubt.
Patrick Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls in his first 6 years as a starter,
right,
and 2 MVPs. So, like I said, it can be done, but what you need to have that happen is an all-time elite of the elite quarterback, and I don't know if Jalen Hurts is that level of a quarterback.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I'm not gonna argue with you.